You know that feeling when you walk into the kitchen in the morning, see the dishes from last night still in the sink, and just stand there. Not because you don't care, not because you don't know what to do, but because something in your body says, not today. And you have been having that same conversation with yourself for 3 days now. That is where this starts, not with advice, with that moment. Because most content about keeping a clean home was built for someone with consistent energy, a body that cooperates, and mornings that do not feel like a negotiation. If that is not you right now, you already know that advice does not land. You try it, it works for a week, and then one hard day breaks the whole thing and you are back where you started. Plus the guilt. What we are going to walk through today is a 3-level system that was built around the body you actually have, not the one you had 15 years ago. 1 level for the days you feel okay, 1 for the days you are running low, and 1 for the days when just getting through is enough. And we want to say this up front, because we have been in those hard days too. This channel exists because the standard advice was not working for us either. So everything here is built from the inside out. Before the system, let us name the actual problem, because most of us have been measuring ourselves against a standard that was never designed for us. The traditional cleaning model, where you save everything for one big session, power through the whole house, and repeat, was built for consistent high energy. It does not flex. It does not account for arthritis that is worse some mornings than others, or the fatigue that does not fully lift, or the days when pain is present before you even put your feet on the floor. Pain is not an excuse. Fatigue is not a character flaw. They are real, they are physical, and they deserve to be treated that way. Any system that ignores them will fail you, no matter how determined you are when you begin. Here is the shift that makes everything easier. The goal is not a show home. The goal is a home that does not add stress to your life. Clean enough to feel calm in. Clean enough to feel like yours. That is it. And that goal is completely achievable, even on the hard days, once the system fits the body you're actually working with. So here is the system. 3 levels, 1 for good days, 1 for low energy days, and 1 for the really hard days. The reason it works where other approaches have not is simple. It does not ask you to show up the same way every day. Most systems fail because they assume every day is the same. This one does not. Level 1 is a good day. A good day does not mean you feel perfect. It just means your energy is moderate. You are functional. You could do something if you decided to. On a good day, the goal is not to clean the whole house. The goal is to do the things that protect tomorrow. The most useful habit you can build for a good day is something called the reset before you rest. Before you sit down for the evening, before the television goes on, before you settle in, you take about 8 minutes and do 3 things only. Wipe down the kitchen surfaces, rinse the bathroom sink, and clear the main living area, just the visible parts. That is the whole reset. And here is what that actually gives you. The next morning, when you come downstairs and the kitchen is clear, something in your brain registers the day as manageable before it has even started. That feeling is not small. A calm morning sets a different tone than walking into last night's mess and already feeling behind before you have had your coffee. Now, if you are thinking that some evenings even 8 minutes is genuinely too much, that is a fair response. And this is where most systems get it wrong. They give you the habit without giving you the fallback. So here is the real version. On the nights when 8 minutes is too much, the job becomes 1 surface, just 1. The kitchen counter or the bathroom sink, 90 seconds. That is the whole reset for that night. We aim for 3 things on a good evening so that one thing always feels easy on a harder one. The bar is always adjustable. That is built into the system on purpose. The second habit for a good day is attaching cleaning to things that are already happening. If the kettle is boiling, wipe the counter. If something is in the oven, sweep the kitchen floor. You're already standing there. The energy cost is almost nothing. Because you are not starting a separate task, you are just filling a moment that was already there. And the third habit is one load of laundry, started and finished, not left in the machine overnight where it sits and needs rewashing. Started, moved, done. One load, that is it. These are not chores in the traditional sense. They are small acts of kindness toward the version of you who wakes up tomorrow with less energy than you have today. Level 2 is a low-energy day. And this is where most people abandon the whole thing, which is completely understandable, because this is the day the standard system has no answer for. A low-energy day is not a bad day. It is just a day where the tank is not full. Maybe you slept poorly. Maybe the pain is present but manageable. Maybe you feel flat in a way that is hard to explain and harder to push through. On a low-energy day, the goal shifts. We are not maintaining anymore. We are just preventing chaos. The most important rule for this day is the one-room rule. Only one room gets any attention. Not the whole house. Not even 2 rooms. One. The one that has been sitting in the back of your mind. Clear that one and let everything else go without guilt. The second principle is sit-down cleaning. And it is worth saying clearly that this is a legitimate strategy, not a lesser version of the real thing. Wiping surfaces, folding laundry, sorting mail, organizing a drawer, all of this can be done seated. If standing at the sink for 10 minutes hurts your back, do the dishes in 2 small batches with a sit-down break between them. The dishes still get done. Your body does not pay the full price. The third principle is what we call the visible clean. On a low-energy day, focus only on what you see when you walk into a room. A clear counter and a tidy entry make the whole house feel calmer, even if the bedroom is untouched. Our brains make fast judgments about spaces. A room that looks calm when you arrive in it feels manageable, even when it is not perfect behind closed doors. And keep your cleaning supplies in every room you use regularly. A cloth and spray bottle in the bathroom, a dustpan under the kitchen counter, wipes on the bedroom dresser. On a low-energy day, having to go find what you need is enough to end the whole effort. When it is already there, the barrier drops just low enough that you actually follow through. Level 3 is the pain day, or the zero-energy day. And this is the level most people have never been given permission to use. This is the day when function is genuinely limited. The pain is significant, or the fatigue is the kind that sits behind your eyes, or you are recovering from something and your body simply does not have anything left to offer. On this day, the goal is not cleaning. The goal is containment. One rule only. Nothing new hits the floor. That is the whole job. Dishes go to the sink, even unwashed. Clothes go to a chair, even unfolded. Anything you are finished with goes somewhere other than the floor. That single habit prevents the spiral, the point where the mess builds past the level where catching up feels possible. Beyond that, there is the 5 things method. Pick up 5 items and put each one where it belongs. 5 things. That is the complete effort for the day. We are talking about real things here. The coffee cup on the end table, the cardigan draped over the back of the chair, the magazine on the floor, the glasses sitting on the wrong surface, the throw blanket that has migrated across the room. 5 things. Done. That's enough. Keep a basket or tray in the main room you spend time in. Anything that does not belong goes in the basket to be dealt with later, not now. The basket contains the visual mess without requiring decisions or more movement than necessary. And we will say this plainly, without a preamble. Using level 3 on a hard day is not failure. Choosing the right level of effort for the energy you actually have is exactly what makes a system last. The goal on a pain day is not a clean house. It is a house that is easier to clean tomorrow. Now, let us talk about tools and stay with this for a moment because it connects directly to everything we just covered. Every cleaning task in your home has an energy cost, and when your energy is already limited, friction is the thing that quietly breaks the system before you even notice it is happening. The principle is simple. Reduce the energy cost wherever you can. That means a long-handled mop and toilet brush, so bending is optional, not required. A lightweight cordless vacuum, because a heavy upright is honestly the real reason most people stop vacuuming regularly. It has nothing to do with not caring. It is just too much. A pump spray bottle instead of a squeeze trigger for anyone with stiffness or grip issues in the morning. And cleaning supplies kept in every room, which we mentioned before. But it is worth repeating because the number of cleaning sessions that have ended because someone had to go get something is quietly enormous. And this one gets overlooked almost every time. Laundry pods instead of liquid detergent. Pouring a heavy bottle with unsteady hands first thing in the morning before your body has fully woken up is an unnecessary challenge you can just remove. One pot, straight in, done. Small thing. But small things are exactly what we are managing here. These are not upgrades. They are accommodations. There is no shame in that. The right tool for your body is just the right tool. If this is already shifting how you think about your home, keep watching. Because what comes next is the piece that determines whether any of this actually holds together over time. And if this kind of content, honest and practical and built for real life, is what you have been looking for, subscribing means we will keep showing up here for you. Here is what explains why most people build a decent routine, keep up with it for a few weeks, and then slowly watch the house get away from them again. They assume they lost motivation or got too busy or are just not disciplined enough. But that is usually not what happened. What happened is clutter. Clutter is not a cleaning problem. It is a decision problem. Every item in your home without a fixed, specific place is a decision you have to make every single time you clean. Where does this go? Does it live here? Should I deal with this now? And on a low-energy day, that kind of mental cost is exhausting in a way that is hard to explain until you recognize it. It is not the wiping down or the sweeping that drains you. It is the 100 small decisions underneath those tasks. The solution is not a massive decluttering session. That approach tends to run out of steam halfway through and leave you with a bigger mess and less energy than when you started. Not exactly what we are going for. The solution is quieter. It is simply giving everything in your most used rooms a fixed home. Start with the kitchen counter. Stand there for a moment and picture it completely clear. Not empty, just clear of everything that drifted in without being invited. That feeling, that version of the kitchen, is what you are protecting with every wipe down. When you can see the counter clearly, cleaning it takes 30 seconds. When it is covered in things without homes, it takes decisions. And decisions take energy you may not have. Carry this into every room through what we call the flat surface rule. Flat surfaces collect. That is simply what they do. A dresser top, a windowsill, a side table. They will hold whatever lands on them unless they have a defined purpose. Either assign every flat surface a specific job or reduce the number of available flat surfaces. Both work. Neither requires a weekend project. Just start with one surface in one room. When the environment is simpler, the system runs with less effort. And less effort is exactly what we have been building toward this whole time. Before we wrap up, if you want to take this further, our video on how to declutter without the overwhelm picks up exactly where this one ends. It is what makes everything we covered today easier to maintain long-term. And the link is right here. And if one part of this shifted something for you, even slightly, drop it in the comments. We genuinely read them. Knowing what actually lands for you is how we keep making content that is worth your time. The standard most of us grew up with, spotless floors, gleaming counters, a home ready for company at any moment, was never realistic for most people, and it was never built for a body managing pain, or real fatigue, or the full and accumulated weight of a life genuinely lived. What is realistic is a home that feels calm when you walk into it. Clean enough to think. Clearly clean enough to feel like yours. That is what this system is for, not perfection, just peace.